recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a fresher software engineer that has gotten literally 0 interviews. So I'm going to tell you why this resume gets 0 interviews and how to fix it so that you can actually get interviews. So my name is Lee. I'm the Headless Headhunter. And when people follow my methods of how to get a job, they typically get 1 interview per 7 applications. That's how you can tell how good or garbage your resume is. If your resume is getting at least 1 interview per 50 applications, you're good. If it's getting more than 1 interview per 50 applications, so like 2 interviews per 50 applications, it's really good. And mine gets you a 1 interview per 7 application ratio. But this person has gotten literally 0 interviews. So, but anything above 50 to 1 is bad. So let me show you why this doesn't work and what we can do to fix it. Now, what do we need for a full stack software engineer? We need degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, SQL, any, cloud, any, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Look at me, look at me, look at me. TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. But Lee, TypeScript means I don't care. You need all of them. Almost every single job, the hiring manager is asking for TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. And it doesn't matter if everybody has it. It doesn't matter if it's basic. It matters that we're asking for it and that you put it on your resume. So I don't care that everybody has it. I don't care that TypeScript implies something. I care that you have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. In fact, one of the biggest issues that candidates have, not just software engineers, which I do more than software engineer resumes, it's just the software engineer market is in the toilet. So like 90% of them are full stack that are sent to me. But the biggest problem is people do not put something on their resume if they think it is common and implied. That is one of the biggest resume mistakes you can make. If it is common and basic and everybody has it in your industry, put it on 4 times in your resume, because that is what's going to get you a job. So React or React Native, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, CI/CD, Agile, DevOps, and then extra credit for AI tools like Claude, Cursor, GitHub Copilot, number of users if you built the infrastructure, and cross-functional. So let's see what we can and cannot find in 20 seconds. 20 seconds is all the amount of time recruiters have. If we take more than 20 seconds, we get fired. So my goal is to find 75% of these, not counting the extra credit, in qualification format, not keyword format. So what is the difference? Well, I will go over that after I review it. So remember, we're not keyword hunting, which these are, which is keywords are what the manager wants. That's literally what a keyword is. A keyword is what the hiring manager wants in a candidate. And these are what the managers want, so these are keywords. So, but we are not keyword hunting, we're qualification hunting. So let's find out what we can find in 20 seconds, which, spoiler alert, this is a garbage resume, so I'm probably not going to find anything. And go. 1 first place. Okay, that doesn't matter. Own data models for data integrity. Doesn't matter. Reduced query length. That's not relevant. Hot dog. This is entirely hot dogs. Hot dog. Can't use this. And 1 first time. Whew, boy, I understand why this is getting absolutely 0 interviews. So yeah, this is really, really, really bad. So first off, you might be wondering, Lee, why did you X out all the technical skills? This person has 1 first place. These are great. Well, no, those are hot dogs. So first things first, there's a difference between a keyword and a qualification. A keyword, like I said, one of these. A qualification, though, is a keyword plus how you used it, plus the business reasons that you did what you did, plus where you did it. And if it's not what, how, why, where, it does not count. So this person put did not show me how they used it. They did not show me what they did. They did not show me why, and they did not show me where. So anything in this technical skills section does not count. Skills sections do not count because they do not show me what, they do not show me how, why, and where. They only show me what. So then we get to this stuff. And the problem with this is filled with hot dogs. So I want you to imagine that you're hungry. You go to a restaurant and you're like, I would like a cheeseburger, please. And the waiter goes, all right, y'all want a cheeseburger? Coming right up, one cheeseburger. So they go back to the kitchen and they say, all right, here's your cheeseburger. But it's not a cheeseburger. It's a plate of hot dogs. And you're like, excuse me, bro, what? I wanted a cheeseburger. These are hot dogs. And they say, well, if y'all think about it, then a hot dog has meat like a hamburger. A hot dog has buns like a hamburger. A hot dog can't have cheese, pickles, onions, and tomatoes just like a hamburger. So when you wanted a cheeseburger, what you really wanted were these hot dogs. And I assure you, good sir, these hot dogs are the best hot dogs you will ever have in your life. You would look at them like they were crazy and you would walk away without paying because that is not what you wanted. And that's the exact same problem with this. Is this may be a great person that won first place in an AI hackathon, but you know what I don't see? I don't see how they can use TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, because this is a hot dog. Own the backend data model redesign for multi-systems integration, hot dog. Resolving data integrity issues by eliminating duplicate records and preventing reoccurring synchronization failures affecting 25K partner accounts, hot dog. None of those are relevant to what I'm looking for. They imply it. Again, just like a hot dog has meat and has buns, just like a hamburger, they are not the same thing. And this is the only stuff that we're looking for. Again, in qualification format, you need to tell me what you did, how you did it, the reason you did it, and where you did it. And if it's not those four things, it doesn't count. You will never impress me. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying you will never impress the person reading your resume because resumes are not physically designed to impress people. Their only goal is to show that you meet the minimum qualifications so that you can go to an interview where you can prove that you're better than other people in that space. That is the purpose of a resume. So if you try to use a resume for a different purpose by showing how good you are or showing a bunch of hot dogs and not showing the basic boring stuff that we need, you are going to get rejected. And this is proof, and the proof is in the pudding on this one, right? Which is, nobody says that anymore. I don't know why I said that. Is this person has gotten literally zero interviews, and they have graduated in 2025 September. And as of the recording today, this is July 3rd, 2026. So they have been unemployed. They've gotten zero interviews in over 9 months because they do not follow the what, how, why, where formula and do not show me what I need. This is why hot dogs are bad in resumes, why you cannot impress me, and why qualifications are important, not keywords. So, also their formatting is bad, but again, the formatting is not the worst part. The formatting, this is the formatting you want to use. This is how you do it. It's in the link below. But the bullet points are the main problem with this, because you can have bad formatting and still get interviews. You can't have bad bullet points and still get interviews. So that is all I can do for this resume. Before we go to the next one, I just want to thank all of my members on YouTube. Thank you very much for your support. I could not do this without you. If you want to join and be a member and get access to videos early, you can. You can join in the link below, but thank you very much for your support. Your support on YouTube allows me to keep doing this for people and offering these services for free. So thank you very much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. And if anybody ever needs more help, they can join on Twitch or YouTube on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST, where I review these resumes. But thank you, my members, for being able to allow me to keep doing this and give people this stuff for free. So thank you very much, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data engineer. So this person said, I changed my resumes as per the template and also updated the resume bullets. I'm not sure if this is good or should I change more. I've been applying for a while now. I do get calls, but from staffing and they lowball me hard. I am on an F1 OPT. Then you need to take those lowballs. I hate saying that, but like if you're on an F1 OPT, you cannot be picky about what you get. You should take those to get experience in the US because a lot of people don't count experience unless it's in the US. And out of the corner of my eye, I see that you don't have US experience. You're like, as an example, I get people a 1 interview per 7 application. The exception to that is internationals. For an international, I get them a 1 to 100 ratio, which sadly is really, really good for internationals. That is how hard it is. So you may get lowballs for that, but unfortunately, you kind of got to take them, man. You don't have the choice to be picky. You are in one of the hardest uphill climbs you can ever get because you don't have US experience, so that counts as if you did not have experience. So they're counting you as a fresher. And being a fresher and getting your first job is the hardest job search of your life. Being a fresher with an H-1B or OPT adds extra difficulty to that. So you're probably going to have to take what you can get. So saying that, let's review the resume itself because there may be some stuff we can do. So 20 seconds on the clock. But what do we need? We need Python, ETL, ELT, SQL, Cloud, and S3, or the others equivalent, like Azure equivalent. Data models, data lakes, anything involving data, the ability to manage and communicate data plans to non-technical people, meet multiple deadlines, big data, so Kafka, Spark, Hadoop, Git, the industry, so SDLC, etc. Rare but nice to have is Tableau, Power BI, AI, ML, BigQuery, Snow, and CI/CD. So let's see what we can find. Although again, a 1 in 100 is going to be good for this because that's how hard it is for internationals with no experience. And again, you count as having no experience. So 20 seconds and go. Okay, this probably doesn't count. That doesn't count. And okay, built and optimized ETL pipelines with Python, Spark, and AWS, feeding trusted analysis reports to, again, this is kind of bad. Refractor, already mentioned this. Spark, SQL, not what I'm looking for. PySpark, already mentioned. This is a hot dog. Designed, modeled, Snowflake, data warehouse, good. Time. Okay, so there's a couple of problems here, not counting the international thing. First off, this is not my format. This versus this. Does this look similar to this? There's a reason mine looks like this and it's basic and boring. This is a feature. This is not a bug. This should not have these lines. It should not have this in blue. It should not have this line. This needs to be black. This needs to be one line with a bullet point. This needs to be italicized. This should not be blue. Remember, this is what it should look like. Now, on to the bullet points themselves. These are not the worst bullet points ever. Actually, no, sorry, going back here. None of these certs are relevant because you've already proven you can use them in the job. It does not matter if really what these have. Well, I will say probably the generative AI one is useful, but you've already shown that you can use AWS, so these don't count. The only reason you want to cert is if you don't have it in the job, with the exception of some industries like PMP certs or ISO certs. You definitely want those. So Databricks you can keep. Then we go down to here and built and optimized. What is optimized? What do you mean optimized? I don't know. Why is that impressive? It's not. I don't care. So built ETL data pipelines, this is good, right? This is what we're looking for. With Python, PySpark on AWS. Great. Feeding trusted See, this part you're going too much. What is feeding trusted analysis ready data? That doesn't mean anything. I'd rather you just said, so are to create business reports for an auto insurance analytics team, right? Make it simpler. Then here, you already mentioned ETL in the first one. You don't need to mention it here. The rule is once, good. Twice in the same job, bad. Twice in multiple jobs, good. So that is why right down here, so mentioning it at first is good. Mentioning it a second time in the same job is bad. But mentioning it down here is good. Remember, you want it once per job. Each keyword is once per job. Sometimes you can't help but do it, but the goal should be one keyword per job. Sorry, don't duplicate the same keyword in a job. So this only has one keyword because this doesn't count. Then Spark, which, yeah, is good, but then you put Spark SQL and not Spark. So this doesn't count. You have to show the exact thing. I'm not looking for Spark SQL. I'm looking for Spark. So this doesn't count. You already mentioned PySpark. Data frames doesn't matter. To reporting deadlines, which is, this one's fine. So the problem I have here is this only has one keyword, which is the reporting deadlines, and your goal should be a minimum of 3, a maximum of 6 per bullet point. Then this one, good. But then why do I care about 50 plus daily this? I don't. This is not something I need. And you don't mention SQL anywhere else, so this is fine. But this doesn't mean anything. What is validation checks for great expectation across 15 sources? That's a hot dog. Keeping data quality SLAs clear. I don't need you to tell me that you kept it clear. I need you to tell me why you kept it clear. What is the point of keeping it clear? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Then we go down to here and there is nothing but nothing. Terraform, maybe? No, nothing. And I don't see that you managed and communicated data plans to non-technical people. So there are a couple of flaws with this, not counting that. Also, you do not want to put authorized to work in the U.S. as an OPT. If you are on an H-1B without an approved I-140, or you are on an OPT, you don't need to mention it because nothing you mention will make it easier for you. You are in the steepest climb in the United States you can get. It doesn't matter if you're on an F1 OPT or an H-1B, they are the same. I'm aware they're not the same, but they're the same. Because companies are going to assume if you're on an OPT, you're going to get to an H-1B. And that is the hardest thing. Now, if you have an approved I-140, that's different. If you have an approved I-140, that's a little bit different. But if you don't, then I don't need you to mention this because nothing you mention will matter. So if you make these changes, you should go from whatever it is you're at, which is over 150 to 1, to probably about a 1 to 79. Let's say 1 to 90. A 1 in 90 to 1 in 100 ratio. But honestly, I would take what you can get because you don't have experience. I know that sounds insulting, but people in the U.S. do not typically consider experience outside the U.S. So this is just fluff, right? You're essentially applying as a new grad. So next, resume. This is a resume of an AI engineer. What do we need for an AI engineer? We need degree, Python, or any other backend, although again, Java is okay. C#.NET is okay. Although I will say Python in the US is more preferable. ML, LLMs, cloud, that you've built stuff in production, agentic systems, and multi-agent work. I don't want to see chatbots. I want to see multi-agent systems and the infrastructure behind it. That's a big one for AI engineers. Agentic coding, so Claude Code, OpenAI, Codex, Cursor, LangGraph, LangChain, Google ADK, OpenAI Agent, SKD. There's also probably more that I don't mention, like N8N, and more than that. There's so many. Communicate technical details to a non-technical audience, and ML ops, AI architecture, AI orchestration, and rare but nice to have is industry, SQL, RAG, Git, and NumPy. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let me read what they said. I'm a 2026 graduate. I am actively applying but have not gotten a single interview in 8 months. All right, well, let's see what is going on. So 20 seconds on the clock and go. Okay, this formatting's off. Built an LLM using Python and OpenAI, designed prompt engineers. This is okay. Engineered or context aware, utilizing automated other candidates. Again, not relevant. Developed an LLM pipeline using Hugging Face. It's fine to identify deceptive behavior, super responsive metadata. Analyze, doesn't matter. Time. Okay, so yeah, I can see why this resume is having issues. So remember, formatting should look like this, not this. The bullet points are kind of bad here. Like, built an LLM. The first bullet point is okay. That one's okay. Built an LLM, right? Powered interview generation system using Python and OpenAI APIs, which is fine. Designing prompt engineering pipelines and adaptive strategies. Again, this part is a little bit more. I want more than this. Like, this only has two. Would I care about OpenAI APIs? I'm actually going to go with no. OpenAI is good, but I'm not necessarily caring so much about OpenAI APIs. I'm more about the agentic stuff behind them. And if that's the same thing, then the recruiter probably doesn't know it, because I know more about agentic stuff than the average recruiter. That doesn't mean I know more than every recruiter, obviously not, but I've done deep dives into this for clients. I know this a little bit more than average. So if I don't see this, they probably won't understand this. And then again, I don't care about pipelines and adaptive generation strategies. I'd rather you just say this to tailor questions by difficulty. Like built-in LLM powered interview generation system using Pythons to tailor but actually, what is tailor questions by difficulty? I'd rather to know how your user could use it more so than the tailor questions. Like what is an interview generation system? I don't know. You didn't tell me. And then we also have the problem of this only has 2 keywords, which is Python and LLM. And I just don't see the rest of it. And then we go down here and again, 0 keywords, and no how, what, why, where. So this doesn't count. And then we go down to here and we have LLM and Hugging Face and Python. So this one's fine. But then you don't tell me why, which is what is deceptive behavior through response metadata? What is a deception detection? What is that? I don't know what you did. And if I don't know what you did, I cannot move you forward. This is not understandable to the layman. This is filled with hot dogs. Nobody has ever asked for this or these numbers. Again, the only number you want besides your dates of employment and your phone number is the number of users in your architecture that you've built. And if you don't have that, then I don't want any other number. None of these numbers are good. That is not impact. That is garbage metrics that don't matter. Impact does not equal metrics. All right. Impact is what we're looking for, not metrics. And then the problem I have is I don't see cloud. I don't see that you've built stuff through production in 0 to 1. I don't see any agentic systems or multi-agent work. I don't see agentic coding. I don't see the frameworks I'm looking for. Again, NumPy and Hugging Face are a nice to have, but they're not the things I'm looking for. I'm looking for agentic stuff. This is the hotness in the market right now. And then I also cannot see communicate technical details to a non-technical audience. That is very important. Your job as an AI engineer is going to be communicate to Bob, who holds the purse strings for your project, about what your project is, and Bob cannot turn on a computer. So you need to tell me how you can communicate technical details to non-technical people. And then ML ops, AI architecture, and orchestration. So again, the only thing I really found here is Python, which is good, and a little bit of the extra credit, and a little bit of LLMs and ML. But that's it. So this does not shock me that you were not getting interviews, is because this resume is almost entirely blank. Which basically what this resume looks like is... Okay, wait. I was too zealous on that one. I was overly zealous. Let's actually show what this looks like. So this is what your resume looks like. Right here. Boop 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 boop. This is it. And this is not enough to get a job. Then this doesn't matter. This doesn't tell me how you did it. Remember, this doesn't count. You cannot put it here. You have to put it here. If it's not in the bullet points, it doesn't matter. So this doesn't count. 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 So once you start actually looking at this resume, you only have 2 sentences. That's it. That's all you have is these 2 sentences. And this is why you're struggling to get an interview, is because these 2 sentences alone do not contain enough to get an interview. Next resume. This is a cybersecurity analyst. So what do we need for a cybersecurity analyst? We need degree, industry, clearance. So whatever clearances you have, we definitely want to know about. Cybersecurity really wants those. Certs, so CompTIA and all the rest. Like, there's so many certs. Like, cybersecurity is one of those where the list of actual keywords is longer than I can put in. So as long as you have some of these certs, as long as you show me the industry, as long as you show me some degree and clearance, you should be fine on that part. But I cannot list them all. Then I want to see Python and SEM tools, threat detection, incident response, can communicate security risks clearly to non-technical stakeholders, and then extra credit for MITR, attack, and cloud. So let's see what I can find in 20 seconds. This is, I haven't applied using this resume. My original was 1 in 200. So I tailored this based on your guidance. So this is their new version of the resume. So let's see what it is, if it's good or bad, and go. Okay, degree, good. This, maybe, CompTIA, built a security operation home lab with Splunk, and Wazoo on Windows and Linux. Triaged alerts, documents to next without it's still a little unclear. Investigate suspicious file network threat detection, isolate affected systems, threats spreading to the network. This doesn't have enough. Simulate emitter, triggered attacks, verified, it reduces the risk of attacks spreading across the network. And time. Okay, so first things first, this person's in chat. I already told them. You cannot just say authorized to work. You have to tell me what kind of visa it is to a degree, because like the differences in the US between a TN visa and an H-1B and an OPT and an H-4 is massive. And somebody on an H-4 or a TN might be able to be authorized at a company to work, while somebody on an OPT or H-1B, they don't have the budget for because of other stuff. Now, with the full disclosure that I do not know Canada's immigration at all. So all I know is you may have to be clear. So that's why I marked it. I wanted to let everybody know. I already told the person in chat, but I have to judge this as if this was in the US and we were authorized to view it. So on to the bullet points. First things first, formatting is almost perfect. There should not be a gap between here, and that's basically it. There just should not be a gap between that. And there should not be this big, that one's fine. That one's not a big gap, but the gap below, this should be changed. Then my problem with this is, the education inserts are great, right? Like that's good. I don't have any clearance, although I don't know how Canada wants clearance. That one is outside my domain, but Homeland is not something I need. Homeland is a hot dog. Or Home Lab is a hot dog. Splunk is a hot dog. CM Tools is not. Now, I know what you're thinking. Splunk is a CM tool. Well, I'd rather you say built security operations with SEM tools such as Splunk and the other stuff. You don't want to say Splunk, CM, and Wazoo. You want to say SEM tools such as Splunk and Wazoo. On Windows and Linux could be one. Triaged alerts, which is a hot dog. Analyzed logs and document its next review. Again, this is not a good description. So my problem with this first sentence is A, it's overly wordy. B, there's only one thing I want, and maybe extra credit. I'll give them 1.5 for Windows and Linux. 1.5, but why does it matter that you analyzed logs and documented incidents so the next review could continue without repeating the same investigation? Why is that important to the company? I don't know. You didn't tell me. So you have a very bad why, and you only have one keyword, 1.5 max. Now, investigate a suspicious file and network activity for threat detection is good. That's 1. An isolated effective system during incident response. That's 2. To prevent threats from spreading across the network is fine. But again, that's only 2 keywords. I need a minimum of 3. Simulated MITRE attack scenarios, fine. Triaging result alerts, updated detection rules. Again, this is a good why, but I only have 1. I don't know why I wrote a 1 like that. I only have 1 keyword here. And you need a minimum of 3. So this is a 1. And then use Python, which is good. Documented language. And then this is 2. So my problem is this is 4 bullet points when it really should only be 2.5. I like some of the stuff. Beyond your first sentence, I like it. But I also want to do more than this. Is documented stuff in plain language that a non-technical stakeholder can understand is good. The problem is, why is it important that they understand it? This is missing the why. This is not a why. I don't know why I always forget the H. This is not a why. This is 2 keywords, which is good, and you wrote them correctly, which is Python and plain language. But I need to know the importance of it, because some of this is also hot dogs, like virus total and IP addresses. So my problem is you need to crunch these down. You do not need 4 bullet points for a project. Project should be 3 minimum. Or 3 maximum. 2 minimum. So I just need you to crunch them together. And I need you to explain the first bullet point better. You're on the right track. Now, again, your difficulty might be the work authorization issue. But again, I don't know Canada's immigration policies, so this is about the limit of what I can do for this one. Next resume. This is another data engineer. I don't know why it's been filled with data engineers today. So we already know what we need. This person doesn't have a ratio. This is their new resume, but they've only applied to like 30 jobs, so they don't know if this is good or bad. So yeah, let's see if this is good or garbage. Getting the clock up. Stopwatch, and let's see if the guy from Bikini Bottom, the Ocean Man, has a good or bad resume. So, and waiting for the airplane, go. Nothing here counts. Data science, okay, that's good. Built ETL pipelines with Spark, good. On AWS, nope. And maybe Lambda for Redshift warehouse, doesn't count. What does that mean? I don't know. Release glue, Lambda, Redshift, you already said that. CI/CD is a nice to have. And time. Yeah, this is a problem of the formatting is so bad I could barely get through it. You actually had some stuff I needed. So remember, what a keyword is what the hiring team needs. What a qualification is what we're searching for. So remember, use my formatting. This is not my formatting. I want you to tell, does this look like this? Does this look like this? It does not. These are very, very, very different. If people say they followed my formatting and they immediately put in these lines up here, I know they are lying to me or to themselves, because that is not needed. So remember what a qualification is. A qualification is a keyword plus what, how, why, where. So The where means just not in a summary or under a skill section. That's all the where means. So this summary does not matter. Nothing here counts. I cannot use any of it. Boop, 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 boop. Might as well not even put it in your resume. There we go. Doesn't exist. Then we go down to here, and again, formatting is way off. This needs to be one line. It should not be bolded. Again, this is not, there's a reason this is not bolded. There is a reason this is basic. People try to like add stuff to make it like look prettier. The ugliness is a choice. This is supposed to be boring and basic so you can read more. So this doesn't count. Then we get down to here, and we have some good stuff, right? Like built ETL pipelines. Stop bolding it, though. Stop bolding everything in your resume. The bold makes it harder to read. There is a reason I could not get past this section right here, is because you bolded everything, and you bolded a lot of stuff that I don't actually care about. So stop it. Stop bolding everything. There is no bold here. You did not follow my formula at all. In fact, nothing in this is right compared to this. All right, so this one line. This should be one line, not bolded. It should be italicized. Your keywords do not matter here. This does not count. They need to be in the bullet points or they don't count. So, one line. Built ETL pipelines, good, with Spark on AWS Glue. Would AWS Glue count? Would AWS Glue count? I don't know. I don't think it would. I think what you need to put is AWS and then Lambda, or AWS and then S3, because I don't think the rest of these would count. And if they do, you cannot put AWS Lambda. You have to just put like Lambda and S3. I need AWS by itself first. And then this does not tell me why you did it. What is improved insights and decision making? I don't know. What was the point of that? I don't know. You didn't tell me. So that part doesn't count. All right. Then we get down to here and deployed glue. I'm not looking for glue. That's a hot dog. Glue, you already mentioned Lambda, you already mentioned Redshift. So CI/CD, Git, again, just put, am I looking for Git? Yeah, Git I am. So Git, comma, CI/CD. See, this even looks weird. You should have put comma. This is why you put a comma, because now you have this weird little dash, and that's not how people spell CI/CD. It should be Git, comma, CI/CD. And I don't think I care about Terraform. And then what is the point of supporting controlled deployments and production fixes? Why did you do that? I don't know. You didn't tell me. So that doesn't count. Built workflows in SQL. Okay, good. In Python. You already mentioned Python. You did not mention Python. Okay. To generate critical treasury reporting and reassurance settlements into S3 to replace heavy manual accounting. What does this matter? I don't know. It doesn't. This does not matter. And again, there's only 2 keywords. You know what I don't see? I don't see how you, let's see. I don't see data models, data lakes. I don't see that you can have the ability to manage, communicate data plans to non-technical people. I don't see that you can meet multiple deadlines. I don't think that you've used big data, except for Git. Oh, we have Git. And I don't see the industry you've used, like already. And no one's going to get past this because your formatting is so awful. Because this is not this. This is perfection in its ugliness. This is so ugly that we love it. Because recruiters look at, on average, 120 resumes in about 30 minutes. And when your volume is that high, then you don't want this, you want this. So I need you to go back to the drawing board. I need you to A, use the actual formatting. And B, I need you to make these sentences with a minimum of 3 keywords, a maximum of 6, and stop including all these hot dogs. Because a lot of this stuff is just unnecessary. And stop trying to brag. You're trying to brag. I can tell when people are trying to impress me. You will never impress me. Because I don't have the technical knowledge or time to be impressed. And neither does the manager. The manager does not have the time to be impressed by it. And sometimes they don't even have the technical knowledge for it either. So That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I just want to know if you ever want any more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and right here on YouTube. That is where I review resumes if you want yours reviewed. And thank you very much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. It does help me out. And to my members who get access to my videos early, thank you so much for supporting this channel. You are the reason that I can keep doing this. Your membership allows me to keep doing this for everybody else for free. So if you want to be a member, join in the link below to get access early. But thank you very much for your support, and I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. Later.